Can you feel it rise? Strike like lightning, fire in your eyes. Down to this moment, all of your life. One shot for glory, cuts like a knife. Now your time has come.
Today we're at the 12th annual Street Scene Car and Bike Show. Hi, I'm Rick Guerrero along with Krista Sylvester. Welcome, Krista.
Glad to be here again.
Isn't it great? What a great day we got today.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be another busy one. So everyone's coming here early. I mean, I think we have another hour left for registration, and the cars just keep rolling in. It's going to be a great show.
You got it. What a perfect day. It's going to be like in the 80s today. No sun. No rain, rather all sun.
I was going to say,
the humidity and dew point's really down. It's going to be a perfect day for a car show. We're on the grass here. We see some dogs in here and everything, which is really cool. And it's just nice having Krista here today for the show.
I'm glad to be here, and of course, all the proceeds from today go to the Veterans Outreach, which is a fantastic thing. There's 50-50 raffles. We've got some really great baskets, some good food. And some great music. It's going to be a wonderful day, and I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, thank you. She come all the way from Naples, Italy. I'm just kidding.
I wish.
I spent some time in Naples, Italy. Naples, Florida. She comes. That's where she lives now. And married. So you guys get that out of your head. She's married now. So
yeah. Just celebrated 1 year.
You got it. So what do you think, Chris? You think we should go inside and check it out?
I think we should go inside and check it out.
Okay.
Everybody, I'm here with Art, and Art has brought a piece of art to this show. I believe this is an incredibly rare spec, and although for most of you that love the antiques and the old muscle cars, this is a new breed, and I had to make sure that I came over and talked to you about it because it's not only is it a looker, but it's basically a track car that's able to be put on the street. Why don't you tell us, first off, what type of car it is, and what made you buy it?
It's a Mercedes AMG GTR. It's a Pro Edition, and I was looking for an exotic, and I was looking for something a little bit different for the area. We have a few Lamborghinis, Porsches, things of that nature, and I was just looking for something a little bit different that you don't see on the road up here. So they make 750 of these worldwide, and 150 got allocated to the U.S. So this is one of 150 in the U.S. So the old school people don't quite realize what it is, but the young kids all know what it is from their game they play, the Forza or whatever. They play it online. So all the young kids really know what it is. All the old school guys are like, okay, there's a big Mercedes emblem. What is it?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I ended up with this.
Absolutely, and I know we talked about it a little bit before we got on camera, and I know you said that you haven't tracked it yet, but what's your favorite part about it? I mean, how's the performance? Obviously, it's got a roll cage inside. It's not your average grocery getter. It's not even close. So tell me kind of what's the drive experience like?
So one of the main reasons why I bought it is the interior on it is very plush. It's really nice. I can take my wife. We can go anywhere. It's kind of a luxury interior based around a race car. You mentioned the roll cage. Out of the 150 that got allocated to the U.S., none of them were allowed to come with the roll cage. The gentleman I bought it off of had friends overseas. They actually bought the roll cage, had it shipped in back door, had it installed. So it's really technically not allowed to have one in the U.S., but it's one of the ones that do.
Well, so you're basically a one of one, possibly.
Possibly. But yes, we just the big reason was the interior. The interior is really nice for a race car. So it's rear-wheel drive. It's all-wheel steer, and but the interior on it's really nice. It's a luxury interior on a race car.
It really is. And also, obviously, you've got a giant hood, big engine in there. Tell us what it's got.
So just a V8 bi-turbo, twin turbo, sits right on top. It's a mid-engine, sits back as you'll see if we pop the engine bay. But it's made to just go race and beat on and have fun at the track, or take your wife to a car show.
And look good when you get here. So thank you so much, Art. This is a fantastic beast. She's a beautiful beast, and I'm so glad you brought in. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show today.
Oh, thank you. It looks like you got quite the turnout. It's going to be a great day.
With me, I have Jim Mahoning Sr.
That's
from
it.
Ellswood, Ohio, with his 1954 Chevy 210. All original.
All original.
Original paint and everything.
Yes, that's what I was told when I made a trade with a guy up around, I believe, the Norwalk area. I had a 53 Chevy Gasser for sale, and he called me and said if I wanted any trades, and I said, no, not really. And he says, you mind if I send you some pictures? And I said, sure, that's fine. So he sent me a picture of this, and I'm thinking, is he for real? And it's got 20,000 original
20,000
miles.
original miles. Where was it kept
Yes.
at?
He bought it off the original owner, and they must have been somewhere around the Norwalk area or something, because he had it for several years, and him and his family drove it around a little bit, and then,
yeah, very little
well,
bit. Yeah.
I mean, he's a car guy,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but he did have other cars and stuff. But when he made me the offer, I knew what I was looking at, and I love it. I love it. Straight six, 3-speed on the tree, and it runs beautiful. And when it runs, you can't even hear it.
Yeah, when you were pulling in here, I was talking to you. It's just like put, 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 put. It's like, my God,
Yep.
what a nice car.
Yes,
What a
yep.
nice car.
Bias ply tires, they still ride just as nice. And when you look at the paint and you look at the engine, you get look at the interior. And I like the back too, because you got to see the cooler he gave me that matches the car.
Oh, okay.
It's cool as heck.
So how many cars do you have now?
I have quite a few.
I know, I remember,
I do.
yeah.
But you know what? I'm glad that my kids are into it. And before, you know,
I see you said senior.
That's right.
You got a Jim Jr.
Oh yeah, and I have a Joe and my daughter Lindley, and she's into it too. I got a blue 68 Pro Street Camaro with a big block. She drives that one, and
Your daughter drives that
my
one.
daughter will drive that, and my daughter will pull a whole shot. Believe me, she's a car girl. Oh yeah, she don't take no back seat to nobody.
Great.
You know, especially growing up with two older brothers
Sure.
that
You
did
gotta-
it too.
You gotta be tough. you
That's
know?
right. That's right. And it was so cool. It really is. And it's in my blood, brother.
Right.
I love it.
That's good.
This is me right here.
You got it.
From my favorite eras, from 49 to 54. I like the Chevys, but I like them all.
53 is a good year.
Yes.
I was born in 53, so
Mhm.
very good year.
Yep,
Very good.
yep.
Hey, Jim, thanks for showing us your car. What a beauty.
Yeah.
What a beauty. It's
Thank
all original.
Yeah.
What color is this?
I don't know. It's close to like a seafoam green, but seafoam green might be a little bit darker. I don't know exactly the color.
That's pretty.
But I mean, look at the interior. I mean, the interior on this thing, man, is beautiful.
It's a completely different color with my polarized glasses.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Boy,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
A lot prettier without
Yep.
it.
And actually, the roof looks white, but it's actually got green in it.
Oh, okay.
When you see it in the sun, it's got a little bit of green
so
tint
this is
to it.
what, a 210? Chevy
210.
Is this? How's this rate in? How many models of this did they make?
Well, you had the 210, you have the deluxe,
Deluxe.
and then you step down because of the chrome.
Chrome, right?
And this, if you would have seen the deluxe, that belt chrome right there would have had a piece that came up, and it would have went part way back. So it's just a little bit more chrome. But hey, man, it's just so cool.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Dominic, and Dominic, I missed you last year. I saw your car and I couldn't find you, and I was so upset because I was like, oh, I love this car so much. So I'm really excited that you're here this year and I get to talk to you about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this father-son build that you brought today?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, first of all, it's great to be back. So thank you for coming and finding me this year. We could actually take a moment to go through it. So, but I'll try to make a long story short. It's a really cool build because since I grew up in the garage, right? So growing up, it was always just a really fun time being in there with the old music and the old crowd and building stuff. And I remember hitting about 12 years old where I really started to appreciate it. And I was like, you know, I really want a project car with my dad. So here I am. I think I was 34 at the time. And I was like, you know, let me try to find one. He decided he was done. He was hanging it up. So I said, well, let me try to find a car. And I started looking for what he used to race, which was a 69 Camaro.
Okay.
So I had the guy looking for all this, and I happened to just really love this Ford. We're a Chevy family, but I love this Ford. And he said, you know what, it's going to be really hard to find. I would just cross it off the list. And sure enough, it was like 2 weeks later, he calls me back, and he's like, you won't believe this. I found this roller. It's fully painted. He's like, it's exactly what you want, so you guys can build the engine and the trans and all that, and it's great, right? And so, yeah, I bought it, and then two men on Saturday mornings for about 2 years got it where it is now. So
very nice. And obviously, you know, you said that you're a Camaro family. This is a Ford. What made you want to go after this one?
So yeah, I think part of it was the rarity. So, and I know it's one of those cars that like everybody's, it's very iconic, you know, it's in movies and people love the 67, 68s and they're just hard to find. So I think when I was kind of weighing it out, it was like some of these I can find easily and maybe I will get one. But for now, this was the rare, just kind of like quick choice. It met all the requirements that we wanted of it being a roller and stuff, and there we are, you know.
Absolutely, and I know that you've got a little old school and you've got a little modern put into it. Why don't you tell us about that, especially the tuning process? I know a lot of people don't realize, you know, when you really start to get into the technicality of these cars, it just takes one little tweak and it's either going to work or it's not. Right. So tell us about the tune that you've got on it and a little bit of that work that you've done.
Okay, sure, yeah. So I think the whole goal of the car was to mix my generation and his generation. I wanted something that we both kind of had a touch in. I do IT for a living, so the technological part was kind of, you know, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was easier for me to figure out. But the mechanical part was all him, right? So I got this blend of keeping it classic, making it look classic, but then as you look around the car and start seeing stuff, you see little updates here and there. Oh, this is new. Oh, it's LED, things like that. So a lot of modern touches, like the auto climate control is a good example. So that was kind of the goal, and I think we met it for the most part. The tuning, like you said, with the technical aspects, the tuning's a pain. You get these new cars, they got all these modules, and they all interconnect with each other and communicate. And as soon as you get rid of one, everything freaks out. It's red lights everywhere on the dash. So, you know, I had to really struggle to find a good tuner, but once I did, we were able to get like, hey, this module doesn't exist, this one does, here's the parameters. And man, it went from kind of stalling out and like not being so good running to now it's just a demon. I mean, it really is a mutant, right? So
he calls it the mutant. So if you hear that or if you see it on social media, you've got a social media following, you're on Facebook, it's fantastic. And I love that your wife too. Your wife is actually who I ended up talking to last year, and I was like, where's your husband? I want to get you both. And she was telling me a little bit about she loves cars too, which I think is fantastic. And also she stitched two lovely little stuffed animals. She owns a company called Hook and Stitched, and she stitched two little animals for my brother who's going to be having a baby soon, and we're going to make a racer out of her one of these days. And you're expecting a baby as well?
I am, yeah. So I have a son on the way. She's due October 11th, so I'm going to see if she can maybe knit him up a race car or something. I don't know. But no, it's we're really excited about that, and especially, you know, I wasn't fortunate enough that my grandfathers were still alive when I was born. So my dad being here for my son is like, it's just huge. Like, I'm so excited to, this time next year, actually, he will be here. You know what I mean? So it's like great. It's like it's starting to turn into this family affair, and I love it. You know.
I love it, and I think you're going to pass it on to the family, which I'm all about. And I want to. One last question is, what is your favorite thing about it? I know you're going to be passing it on, but what is your favorite thing about this car? Obviously, you got to build it with your dad, and that is so special. My dad and I go to car shows. Been going to them since I was a little kid at A&W in Boardman, and it's just it's a passion that I think never leaves you. So, what is something that you love most about this car, and then what are you going to surprise to tell your soon-to-be son when you hand this over to him?
So I think one of the things that I love the most about it is when I look at it, I see the blend of our generations like I wanted, but I also have like all these memories like of just him and I building this, right? Like that was so crucial, and it's just funny, like when you look at it, you're like, oh, I remember we argued about this, right? Like we were down each other's throats and we were all upset about this, and then like now it's fine, we figured it out. So I have like all of that working through it together, and like just the memories that kind of come with it. But yeah, I don't know. I love the way it looks. I just think it's one of the most beautiful cars ever built.
That she is.
And yeah, I mean, and it's just hard to not enjoy the way that it looks. But man, just getting with family and driving it and just enjoying it, I think that's my favorite part about it. It's just the emotional connection.
You are watching Street Scene.
The Cougar was the gentleman's, race car as opposed to the Mustang. And actually, the Cougar was supposed to be called the Mustang.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah.
Rick believes that you should drive a car that makes you pee your pants because it's so fast. So how fast have you had it?
How fast have I had it?
How fast have you had it?
135.
And in the last probably 5 years, once I turned 62, I really got on and started getting it done.
Getting any younger, got to get it done.
Yeah.
You get to that point, you go, boy.
That's what I said to my wife. I said, I got to get this thing done so I can enjoy it.
Everybody, I'm here with none other than my brother, Joe Sylvester, and he came here today not with his monster truck, but with something really cool and really unique. You've got your last call, and I believe it's in Plum Crazy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, it's a Plum Crazy wide body Hellcat. It's a 2023. It's the last call edition, and I've always wanted one since they came out with the new Challenger. I've always wanted one, and then when they came out with the Hellcat, I really wanted one. Then the wide body, I was like, I have to get one. And then when the Dodge finally announced that, hey, we're not doing them anymore, we're done, I went to the dealership and ordered one.
Very cool, and I know you waited a little while for it to come in. I've been on the road with you. This thing performs, and it's got that whine that us supercharger lovers absolutely enjoy. But it also has something special here. You actually went to a car show up in Detroit, and you got to meet some very special people that had to do with this vehicle. Why don't you tell us about it?
I've been in love with Mopar stuff for the past 19 years of my life, and through just having a lot of different Mopar vehicles, I met some key people and made some really unique friends, and two of them signed underneath the hood of my car. It was just kind of a spur of the moment thing. We were at a barbecue together, and I was like, dude, you guys got to sign my car. One is Mark Trossel, the lead designer of SRT. The other one is Ralph Giles, who is the lead designer of everything Stellantis. And just really cool guys, major car guys. And when you hang out with dudes like that, it really solidifies and makes you proud of the purchase that you made, because the guys that design these cars are also major car guys themselves.
Now, what made you want to stick? Now, obviously, we've got some unique cars here today. We have a couple exotics, the GTR that's here, and then we've got some American Muscle. What made you, as a car lover, enthusiast, owner, racer, why did you want to stick with something like this, a Mopar product, an American Muscle car?
It's really just, any car that I could buy right now that I could afford, this is my favorite. I've got a long list of cars that I want in my life, but this was the first one I wanted. And it makes sense. I have race cars that you can't take on the street. I have cars that are just ridiculously fast, but I wanted something that you could go fast and have fun on the street, turn the air conditioning on in the radio, and go drive across the country, which me and Dad did for that car show. Actually, it was a Cars and Coffee at Stellantis at Dodge. So we just drove this thing. We didn't trailer. We just jumped in it and drove. So it's just a fun, enjoyable car to drive.
So I understand, obviously this is one of the newer cars, newer breed. It's got more gizmos and gadgets than the old school cars. And something really cool I thought when you took me for a drive was it has almost like a built-in dyno in it. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, with, like I said, these guys being car guys that design the Hellcat, they put a lot of features into these cars that car guys would want. It's got a factory line lock. They want you to take this car to the drag strip and go beat on it. And it's got a whole slew of different gauges and everything. You can see every single thing that this engine is doing. It lets you know if it's getting too hot. If at the drag strip after you make a bunch of passes and you got to let it cool down a little bit. It has an onboard dyno. It tells you your 0 to 60 time, your reaction times, your 1/8 mile time, 1/4 mile time. It's all built into the SRT package right in the dash. You could change your some different settings on the engine. You can change different settings on the suspension, all right on the computer, and it's all factory. It's all stock.
That's pretty wicked. That's pretty cool. And also, one last question is, obviously, you're a monster truck driver. You're used to driving a couple thousand horsepower vehicles. What does this put out?
It is 717 horsepower at the crank from the factory. That's what they make stock. And another cool thing too is they're capable of well over 1,000 horsepower, and the driveline will handle it as well. So much the fact that you can buy all the goodies from Dodge to get it to that level and still maintain your factory warranty.
Very cool. So my question now is, are you going to leave it stock being a Sylvester?
No, not at all. Not at all, but it was all I could to buy it for right now, so it's going to stay stock for a little while.
With me, I have Russ Neil from Hubbard, Ohio.
Hubbard, Ohio.
And it's what, 37 Chevy Master
Deluxe
Coupe. All stock, right?
No, not stock.
Not even close. How long you had this, Russ?
About 20 years.
What was it like when you got it?
I was all original car. It was crap brown is what the original color was on it. It was all dark brown. And been 20 years of just nonstop. Except for about 5 years, I couldn't work on it for family and stuff. But every chance I got, I tried to work on it, tried to get it done.
How about
And then,
parts?
and then the last probably 5 years, I really, once I turned 62, I really
That's it.
got on and started getting it done.
Getting any younger, got to get it done.
Yeah.
You get
That's
to
what I said
that
to
point,
my-
you go, boy.
That's what I said to my wife. I said, I got to get this thing done so I can enjoy it.
Yeah, really.
So my one friend helped me. We completely tore it down to the frame, redone the frame, painted all the suspension stuff.
You guys did this all yourself, the paint? and
Yes,
everything, okay.
yeah, we did all this. I did most of it all, like I said, the body work. He helped me do a lot of the finished body work and helped me paint whenever I would get tired of swinging the arm, painting the gun. He would take over. But and then I hand polished all the bolts. Were stainless. When I put it back together, I hand polished all the bolts for it.
A
And
lot of passion goes into these,
yeah, it was a lot of hours. A lot of hours.
What color you got here?
It's a ruby red. It's a Ford color. When they first came out on the F-150s, I saw this color and really liked it.
It does look good. It looks very good. How about parts-wise? Can you get parts for it?
It's got a Fat Man's front suspension in it, 9-inch Ford rear end, chassis engineering, cross member for the transmission and the rear end leaf springs, and then the rest of it, and I pretty much did myself, making parts, engine mounts, and the steering and all that. I pretty much done all that all myself.
What are you sporting under the hood here?
It's a 305 HO Chevy.
Nice mild engine. Get you where you
Well,
want to go.
when I was doing this, I wanted something I could drive, get 16 to 20 mile a gallon, and
You got it,
and
yeah.
have fun.
And it looks really good too.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
What kind of rims are you sporting there?
They're American Racing,
What size?
17s in the front, 18s in the back, with BF Goodrich G-Force radials.
How's she run for you? Good?
Yeah, it runs pretty decent.
Got enough power and everything.
Got enough power for, yeah, it'll cruise 70, 80 mile on the freeway like nothing.
This is all steel, right? All steel body.
Well, except for the fenders and running boards, they're 2 inches wider. I couldn't find any steel fenders
Oh, okay.
or running boards, or else I would have cut them. The original ones after I had the car all blasted.
Yeah.
There was nothing left of
they were a
them.
mess, yeah.
Paper thin. There was nothing left of them.
So tell me about the interior, which I really, when I saw you coming in here today, I said, this is very nice, very nice. Who did this for you?
TNT, Cyclone, and Warren did this for me. I can't remember what the guy's name. I think his name was Tim.
Tim and Mark, yeah.
Yeah, he did a real nice job. He did a lot of things that I didn't think of, X-ass panels and stuff.
So when you go in there and you say, here's what I want done, and then he starts telling you, well, maybe.
Yeah. He did a lot of stuff on his own, and like my kick panels and stuff, he made them removable.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The back panel in the trunk, he made removable because my gas tank and everything's inside the trunk behind the seats there.
How long it take him to do it?
He had it probably about a month and a half.
Oh, that's
about
it?
6 weeks,
Okay.
7 weeks, yeah.
Because a lot of times you give it to them and say, oh, we'll have it done by the end of the winter or something like that.
No,
They
they were really good up there.
they're really good. They're probably one of the best around here.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with what they've done. But
What a beautiful car, Russ. Thanks for showing us, and thanks for coming to the
thank you very
12th
much.
annual Street Scene Car and Bike Show.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Phil, and Phil has brought his gorgeous brand new ZL1. And Phil, you kind of have a history with racing, to say the least. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this car, what made you buy it, and honestly how it compares to some of your other fun cars that you've got?
Well, this car was kind of just at one of the, you see it, it's like, I gotta have it. So I figured out some things and I made it happen. But comparing it to drag racing, what I do for racing a dragster is totally different. Like obviously the power's a big difference. It's fun to have something that I can take on the street and just play around with, tinker with, versus always just being at the racetrack.
Sure.
So it's been a fun car to get around with, even though I don't have very many miles on it, because it's just pretty much fresh from the dealership.
So you said, I gotta have it. What made you gotta have it?
More so, I knew they were going to discontinue the Camaro. I had an 18, and then once I found out 24 was going to be the last year, I traded in for this one. So it's kind of just like one of them things where you just want it.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
I get it. The love is there. Now, obviously, you know, this is not your average Camaro. It is the ZL1 package. Kind of tell us what it's come with for those that don't know, that aren't really familiar with this newer breed, and also if you have plans of doing any modifications to it.
The ZL1 came in two different packages. The stock, which pretty much that's what this one is, and there was a 1LE package, which was like a road course package. It came with a data recorder. I didn't want that one. I wanted an automatic, something that I could drag race if I wanted to. Probably never will. I have some slight modifications done to it. I have supercharged pulleys from Lingenfelter, throttle body, 90. I think the stock was 88. This is a 95. It has a tune and then a big gulp air intake.
Well then, so it's really not. So when you said you just got it, I'm like, okay, it's stock, not stock. But I should have figured from you it wouldn't be for long. Now, so with everything that you've gone on it now, what's it pushing out?
Just an educated guess. I think stock is 650. I'm gonna say maybe 700. I would hope a little bit more. I mean, I would like to put it on a dyno, but you know, when I get time, I'll try to do that.
So the last question is, do you plan on, since it's a specialty car, since they're, ending the production of it, are you going to hold on to this for a while? Is this something that you plan on holding on to, or is this just kind of another step into another fun car?
I'll probably hold on to it for a while, just knowing that it's probably, for any future Camaros, if they roll out, then they're probably going to be electric, no longer gas. So that's kind of just like a big deal to me. Like, I like my gas cars. I want to feel powered.
I do too. That octane is really what we're here for. I mean, everyone here you see, I don't know if there's any electric cars here today, but something like this, obviously, it stands out. It's fantastic looking. I wish you the best of luck, and can't wait to spend a little more time on the road with you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, so we are here at the Armstrong Street Scene Car and Custom Bike Show, and we're here with Rusty. And Rusty, I've seen this car a couple of times, and honestly, when the engine is not popped, showing off all of her brawn and beauty, you would think, all right, this is probably just a semi-stock Camaro, and I can probably blow it out of the water. And that is a sore lesson for people to lose. Why don't you tell them why?
Well, start off, it's a factory 376 cubic inch, but everything from the ProCharger back has been changed. It's got a 1,000 horsepower clutch. It's got a single it's got a single drive shaft where the factory had a two-piece. The back suspension's all been changed. It's now chrome moly and it's a 4-link. That's the way it can handle all the horsepower. The heads have been modified a little bit, and it has a D1 ProCharger on it, and right now she's 830 horsepower at the flywheel.
830 horsepower. Did I hear that right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd kill myself. You know that. I would.
Now Rick's favorite question, because Rick believes that you should drive a car that makes you pee your pants because it's so fast. So how fast have you had it?
How fast have I had it?
How fast have you had it?
135.
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, but she's capable of much more.
That was starting on an on-ramp on a expressway. I started at the end of the ramp, and by the time I hit the main highway, I was at 135.
Yeah,
Listen,
got there quick.
Those on-ramps are because you know when you see nobody coming and you're looking over, seeing if anybody else is going to be like, I can do this.
You can do this. Exactly.
And get away with it.
And I got to tell you, it's a fun ride. I've taken people for rides, and they go, "Oh my God, I can't."
Oh yeah.
You know, and they can't believe that it does that. But
absolutely. Now, curious, what made you? Because I know you're you're obviously a car guy. What made you want to buy this specific car and have the work done that you did?
Well, when I came back from Vietnam, I ordered a 1971 Z28, and I got stupid.
Well, of course you're young. How old were you then? 20, 21?
That's an understatement. I got stupid and I sold it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to replace it. So 2013 comes around, and I went, that's what I want. First year for electric steering. And I can tell you, the steering does not feel any different at 2 miles an hour than it does at 130.
Good.
It doesn't get spongy on you. So, I mean, it works. And this is what my old Camaro wishes it was.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's the best of both worlds. And I still get, believe it or not, with all that horsepower, 23.5 miles to the gallon on gas.
Really? Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah. That's
See,
amazing.
these new breeds, I'm insane. You know, like I said, I love my old school. I love my naturally aspirated. You know, I love high octane. But there's something about the way that they gear, especially the transmissions. Some of these newer cars, and they're still putting down the power, but you're getting a little less time at the pump.
And it's funny. This has a 6-speed transmission, and people go, God, you're old. Why do you want to row gears? I'm like, I have been rowing gears ever since I was 16.
Because it's fun.
It's fun, and I can do this.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Anyway, you know, I've had race cars that had 4 speeds in it, and they go, no, yeah, it needed automatic. I'm like, no, more fun with a 4-speed.
That's right. That's right. Control the engine. Control the engine.
Yes, sir.
Rusty, thanks for showing us your car and everything. What a beauty.
Thank you for the interview.
With me, I have Mark Beal with his dog. What's your dog's name? Ace. And Mark has a very interesting story here, what Ace is all about. And what's going on here, Mark?
I went through a program called TADSAW, which is short for Train the Dog, Save a Warrior, which is all free for veterans. And I come across it from the VA on Belmont. And I just got an appointment Tuesday to turn in a bunch of paperwork to who we're raising money for out here today. So it's a simple program. You get a hold of Bart Sherwood in Texas. You could Google it, get information that way. You could go to the Veterans Outreach. I'll have more paperwork there. You can have paperwork that way. It's a 26-week course. Laura Brown is the 24-year Marine Corps veteran dog trainer in this area. You go 26 weeks, 2 days a week, whatever you set up with her, and you and your dog go to her.
Is this just for disabled veterans? No? Or any
This is for any veteran that needs a service animal.
Okay.
That's great. And I
Okay.
understand they're rescue animals as well. You rescue a dog and you rescue a warrior. That's kind of the goal together.
The good thing about this, if your son or your child, or your grandchild, if they're in your care, needs a service animal, and you've been in the military, they will fall under your DD 214.
Okay. Another thing that's cool that you pointed out was the 22 on your shirt, and I think that that's important for the people to know what that also stands for. That has to do with this.
The TATSA provided this vest free of charge. It's got a pocket on each side, and people say, "Well, what do you keep in your pocket?" Well, come here. You go lay down.
I seen them walking around with donations and all that.
Poop bag.
Oh, poop bag.
I carry my bags with me.
That's right. and obviously the program, once you go through it, your dog is trained to perform special duties catered to you
Yes.
specifically,
Yes.
and that's really important
for example,
for people to know.
And he was never trained this way, but he picked up on it. I have
course.
sleep apnea,
Okay.
and he has a special license on him for a service dog. And when he shakes his head, it hits his collar. If I don't hear that, then he'll start barking. If he don't hear that, then he'll push on me.
Wow.
And if I don't heed to that, he'll jump up on the bed and actually
wake you. Yeah.
push on me until I wake up.
Wow. That's
And
fantastic.
My sleep apnea gets that bad with the CPAP machine.
Sure. I'm so glad we came over and talked to you about that because, like I said, this is something I knew nothing about. I'm sure a lot of other people didn't know about, and it's really important.
very important,
Mental health
sure.
is a very, very important thing, especially for those that have served our country and continue to serve our country. So it's wonderful because you're saving a person, but you're also saving a furry friend as well, and that's that goes to the heart too.
In this program, although he is a service dog, he is referred to more as a battle buddy.
Battle buddy. Okay.
Because he's fighting your battles, you're fighting his
Battle buddy. Battle buddy.
So
That's great.
you're
BAT.
Battle buddies.
Battle buddy. I love it.
Okay.
Well, Ace, it was nice to meet you,
All right,
Battle
man.
buddy.
With me, I have probably, no doubt about it, street scene's biggest fan, Bruce Michael. How's it going, Bruce?
Oh, not bad. How about you?
We got invited over to Bruce's house one day, and it was so nice just to go, and he has everything cataloged. So what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to get a picture with Krista for a long time. And
everybody wants a picture of Chris, but nobody wants one with mine. With me, it's always with Chris.
It's a passion that, you know, I don't think ever leaves you, no matter what happens physically to you. It's a passion that never leaves you, and it's also a passion that I feel like has been lost in today's society. And it's so great to meet you because you have that passion, and even though you've been through so much, you're still here, you're still enjoying it, you still want to be around it, you want to be a part of it, you keep track of it, apparently. You've got, like he said, catalogs, you've kept everything. You're probably the most well-organized supporter of street scene we know. Yeah, it's wonderful.
And I mean, I've got DVDs of the Street Scene Power Hour and all the shows, all the way from
number one fan right here.
I tell you, he is number one.
It's great to interview someone like you because, like I said, you share the same passion that we all do, all of us that are here today, all of us that are watching the show. Like I said, it's a passion that we just got to keep instilling in the future generations, and it's so great because, like I said, you've been through a lot, but you're still here today. You're still loving every part of it, and that's something that's going to follow you forever.
In fact, like right now, you know, I've been pictures of cars, and I put them on the internet. Then I take and make a copy of it, and so that's my car collection now. I mean, I just like anything. I mean,
sure.
I've got, you know, all kinds of cars.
Absolutely. So I'm here with none other than Rick. That was a sound system.
Yeah.
So Rick was like, I have a car here today, but I'm too shy. Don't interview me.
I'm a shy guy.
Yeah, okay.
You know, you got me before with my BMW.
I know I did, and I'm going to get you again now. So this is totally different than the BMW, obviously.
Totally different, yeah.
Tell me about it. You were talking about it on the Power Hour, and now I get to see it in person. It's really cool.
It's a 69 Firebird convertible. Parchment interior, all deluxe parchment interior they call it. It's a nice car. It's got the outside tack on it and everything, 400. It's got a mild cam in it. It's just a nice riding car, and power windows, wood steering wheel. I didn't go see the car, okay?
Okay.
And I should have went to see the car. The guy he told me all this stuff. A car worked, everything worked in the car, and hardly anything worked in it. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, the interior's fine. It's original interior and all that. I sat in the seat and I just sunk. The cushions were shot, so I got new cushions for it. And they told me, the upholsterer says, "Hey, I think you need a whole new interior in this thing."
You know, you're not the first person. That has actually happened to me personally with the car dealer. I've heard it from other people. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens. You know, people say, "Oh no, it's fine." It's funny because I think some people don't see what we see.
Right.
You know, and to them it's okay and it's in great condition, but maybe to someone that has just a little more of a finite detail eye, they're going to be like, "No, that needs work." But I mean, to be honest with you, what you've done so far looks great. I know the interior was kind of a big thing. Why don't you tell them about that?
Yeah, it was a biggie. I ordered the interior. I'm not going to say what company because I blasted them on there after they did it. and I ordered it, and 6-8 months later, it finally come in, all except for the door panels. Okay, I got the carpets, and it's a parchment interior, they call it. It's like a kind of a different color. If you're not used to it, it's like a goldish.
It's pretty.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Got
I
like
like
a
it.
goldish tint to it, pearl tint to it. And then I didn't get the door panels, and about 3 or 4 months later, the door panels finally come in, and they were the wrong color. So I called them up, they sent me another pair, they were the wrong colors. So I sent them back, went to another company, they sent me a pair, and they were the wrong color. They were closer.
3.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I'm like fuming now. I'm going, I don't believe this, you know. So I got on the Firestone website and everything and talking to some guys. They said, why don't you paint it? I said, you know what, I shouldn't have to paint it. I just bought these things. Everything should match.
Sure.
So I ended up getting some paint and I dyed them. And
well, it looks good.
wasn't
it looks really great.
So I sent them to this one company, Color Code, out of don't know where we're out of Kentucky or something, and they matched it up for me. It's perfect. You can't even tell. If I
It
wouldn't
looks
tell you,
fantastic.
yeah,
I'll tell you what,
wouldn't know.
I know you say that you have a lot of work to do to it, but that's all part of the fun,
Oh,
obviously.
sure.
And it really does. It looks great. It is a good looking car. I love the color scheme. I love the parchment because it's not that white. It's that,
Right.
you've got that little bit of that gold tint to it like you discussed, and it goes really well with the top. I mean, what a beautiful car, and I'm glad you brought it out today.
Sure.
And let me interview you about it.
Thanks, Krista. Thanks, Krista.
We have fun.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Krista.
Thanks, Rick. Hey everybody, I'm here with Ken, and Ken, I saw you pull in, and I went, yeah, I gotta go talk to that guy. And what we are standing behind is an absolute monster. You were just telling me off record here a little bit about it. I thought this was a street vehicle. I thought that this was something that you put on pavement, but this is actually really unique. You take it on the dirt. Why don't you tell us about it?
Runs sand drags. It's just like drag racing, only in the dirt or sand, whatever. It's 300 feet long, and this car runs like 340s, 350s at 100 mile an hour and 300 feet.
And tell us what your 0 to 100 time has been in the sand.
About 3.5 seconds.
There's some cars that don't do a 0 to 60 in that on pavement, and he's doing it in sand. Now this is quite a build, and also it's a Bronco, which is interesting because I don't see this body style very often. What made you want to go with a Bronco? And also it's extended a little bit because I asked you, I said, Broncos are short typically, and that's not real fun when you get into the high horsepower because you get a little loose sometimes with less body. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I've had these for years, actually. I used to run sand drags years ago, and then went drag racing and came back to doing this. So I just built the thing. It was kind of my last thing to go have fun racing with. And I always wanted to build a tube chassis one, so I made this one all tube chassis, and always wanted a supercharger on one, so my wife said, hey, if we have the money, go ahead and do it.
Why not? And what made you want to go with the Bronco body style?
Yeah, just because my dad actually started with these years and years ago. 1966 was his first one, and I've had 10 or 15 of them ever since then.
Wow.
And raced one for quite a few years, and like I said, then I went drag racing. But so I don't know, that's it. It's going to actually be my street car, though, eventually. Okay. When I'm done racing, I'm going to detune it a little bit, put another seat in it, and drive it on the road.
Get it off of methanol, huh?
Probably, yes.
Now, obviously, this runs on methanol. Obviously, this is a giant blower. Tell us the size of the engine and the output that you're getting from this.
It's 363 cubic inch small block Ford. It's got a 671 supercharger, but it's actually all marine-machined. Was an old nostalgic top fuel car blower at one time.
Okay.
It's got bigger rotors. It's called a big bore 671. And this motor, this tune-up right now is really close to 1,500 horsepower.
That is just gnarly. So when you fire it up, do the neighbors get angry?
No, actually, most of my neighbors like it, believe it or not. Believe it or not.
Very cool. So where, again, sand racing isn't something that, you hear about too often. So why don't you tell the viewers, where can they see someone like you perform on the sand with a vehicle like this?
Actually, next weekend
Okay.
in Lisbon, Ohio, on Route 150, I think it's 154. It's called Tri-County Four-Wheelers. They're putting on their annual big race. It's actually Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We'll be racing sand drags Friday, sand drag Saturday, and then Sunday, I believe, is a hill climb and an obstacle course.
Wow, very cool. And one last question. What is your favorite thing about this very unique Bronco?
My favorite thing?
Favorite. If you had to choose.
Oops, sorry. I don't hurt when I drive it. I busted my neck all up, and I've had all kinds of surgeries, and I hurt a lot. But when I'm in this thing racing, there's no pain whatsoever. It's just like all the adrenaline, and I wish I could feel like that all the time.
Oh, don't we all? Well, thank you so much. This is such a really unique vehicle. I'm glad I got to talk to you about it, and good luck at your races.
Thank you.
With me from Niles, Ohio, we have Bonnie Robbins with her 1969 Mercury Cougar. This is the base model, right?
Yes, sir.
This thing holds a lot to me. I had one, but mine was a convertible. It looked same color and everything, and I loved that thing. And I got rid of it to buy my 64 Thunderbird, and then I said, my girlfriend goes, "Why'd you get rid of that car for?" I said, "I don't know. I just fell in love with it. It was like one of the, I lusted over this Thunderbird." Okay, we'll put it that way, okay? And then after a while, I said, "Oh my God, I should have never got rid of that."
Yeah, because actually the Cougar was the gentleman's, race car as opposed to the Mustang. And actually, the Cougar was supposed to be called the Mustang.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, I researched that, and it's a very interesting model. And like I told you earlier, when I was still in high school, I walked 2 years up to work over there on 422 to Perkins to buy a 1973 model with the 351 Cleveland engine.
Okay. This is a Windsor.
This is the Windsor.
I think next year they put the Cleveland.
Yeah, in the 70s.
Some guys like the Clevelands better because you can build them better.
Yeah. Well, there's a preference, just like anything else.
Right.
Yeah. So, what else did you want?
What color is this thing?
This is ivy cream.
Okay.
And it's the original color. And, well, of course, these aren't stock tires. They were replaced.
Well, you got to replace them.
Yeah.
They say every 6 years replace your tires.
But we still do have the original spare tire in the trunk, and it's all covered, the whole trunk area. Very good welds, there's no rust on it. Underneath, it's clean as a whistle. Good stainless steel struts, everything. It's just clean as a whistle.
She's a beauty. You can see that. All the spots I had were rusty. There's nothing there.
Even the top. Look at how good the condition is for the top.
So you're saying this is all original? Yeah. Everything. Paint, everything. Interior?
Yeah.
And how many miles you have on it?
68,000.
Wow.
68,000. Yep.
How many miles was on it when you bought it?
64.
Oh, so this is your toy.
Yeah.
It's a good toy.
Yeah.
It's a pretty toy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then all the neighbors, they like it. And then there's an older gentleman up the road. When I drive by his house, I have to beep all the time because he had a Cougar too.
Okay. They're kind of rare. You know that? You don't see too many Cougars. In fact, I think you're the only Cougar here today, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the last show I was at with Eric, we went to the Greenwood in Hubbard, and I got the top 20, for it being so specialized. There's no other steel-bodied Cougar there, which, ranked as well as that. So, yeah, it's winning some little ribbons here and there.
It's a beauty, I'll tell you. Interior's all original and everything. Yes. What color interior you have?
It's like a mist green, ivy mist green, and it still has the AM radio. There's been no modification. Still has the original interior. All that's been totally cleaned by us, because it was a little dusty when we got it. But no jamming radio.
How about the steering wheel? Is that the Hornblower?
It's right there in the.
If you don't know what the Hornblower steering wheel is, it's like right around the edge of it, and you press it and it beeps.
Yeah, let me do it for you guys.
There it goes.
It's loud.
Yeah,
it's loud.
This is like.
Now see, it only has the side mirror on the driver's side. Now it took me a while to get used to that again after having a cars with both, you know.
I like
side
both mirrors. In fact,
Yeah.
my Firebird only had one on it, and I put the other one on because
Yeah.
it's a safety thing for me, you know. You get so used to these cameras anymore, you know, rear-view cameras, and
Yeah.
I just said, I got to do it. I'm going to wreck it if I don't. This is like an upgraded Mustang, basically. That's
exactly.
What they,
Yeah,
it's a Mustang.
it's considered the gentleman's race car, you know, in the Pony League for, you know, the Mercury Ford Association.
Many of the parts swap over, but not a lot of the body parts don't, but some of the engine parts and interior parts and stuff like that.
Well, yesterday I had to put a new tube on. Eric did it actually, but you know, for the windshield wiper fluid, it was all rotted out. So we had to do that. So that was the only thing we've done for a while for it, you know.
Just have some fun with
Other
it.
than getting a battery.
Yeah,
you know.
that's normal.
And then I use high test gas in it.
It's cheap over here in Ohio.
Uh-huh.
You go to Pennsylvania, it's like 60, 70 cents more.
It's terrible. It's terrible because when we lived over there, I remember my folks always griping about how high the gas is. But yeah, we're gonna keep her. We'll just.
Bonnie, it was nice seeing you around. I caught you at a couple of other events, and I just fell in love with your car. And I thought I saw. What did I see you last time at the Hubbard one?
Yeah.
At the Greenwood.
Yeah.
Hubbard there,
Yeah.
I wanted to steal it from you, of course. Don't leave your keys laying around.
Well, they're in my pocket, but if you want to take it for a spin, you got insurance, you can take it.
You might not get it back. With me, we're with Bob Evans, which is 31 Model A Ford Street Rod, and we're gonna get three of us on him right now. We got Krista with us and John Lesagonich. If you don't know John, he's from our podcast. Plus, he helped us out on a couple of our past episodes of Street Scene.
I did, and I enjoy it.
Yes,
I enjoy it. It's fun. This is great. Matter of fact, this is beautiful.
It is nice.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Supposedly, somebody just walked past me with the number 329.
Okay.
Oh.
And they're still coming in. So
That's great. Good.
Great day.
It's just a beautiful day. Beautiful day. Some of the cars here today are just spectacular. Like this one back here.
Yeah.
What do we got here, Bob?
31 Model A, two-door sedan. Been chopped.
How many
It's got
inches?
7 inches.
Okay.
And it's got a 383 Chevy Stroker in it with a 86 Corvette drivetrain. And I did it from the bottom up. It was in pieces when I found it.
Great. Where'd you get it at?
Down in East Palestine. Guy had it. And took about 11 years.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of money too, huh?
Yes.
Was it painted like this when you got it?
No.
And so is
It was-
this your
it was a
brainchild paint job?
Yeah. That just the materials in that paint was $3,100. That was 11 years ago.
Oh wow, 11 years ago.
Yeah. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. It took 11 years to build it.
Yeah.
So it was probably more like 6 or 7.
It's still a lot of money.
You know, I don't want to
Right.
take much credit, but Bob's my neighbor. And, you know, a lot of this is probably my idea.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd
None
come
of
up.
none of this is my idea.
He'd come up and tell me, you ought to do this and do that. Okay, I'll do that right away. I'll get that for you.
Right away,
Yep.
John.
It's a beautiful build. It's just, it's one of my favorites. He has a couple vehicles. He had a beautiful, what year was the Nova?
69.
69 Nova. all red.
13,000 miles on it.
Yikes!
Yeah.
What you doing with it?
I restored it. I mean, basically painted it and put a Chevy crate motor in it and a 9-bolt rear end and so on, you know, because I had a 6 in it originally.
You still got it?
No, I sold it. It's in
Okay.
Kansas City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you have this one and another one similar
29.
to this, a 29.
It's a 2-door sedan. Somebody cut the roof off. So I made a pop-off roof for it. And it was originally a 4-door. I made it a 2-door. This one was always a 2-door. Yeah.
This thing is sweet. Question: 7 inches. Did you ever whack your head getting in there?
Yeah. I have. Or I'll go to get out. I'm reaching for something and raise up and bam. You know? You forget. Oh yeah, sure.
I'm curious about the color because it's a really unique color. The fact that you've got this glorious, rainbow metal flake in it. What was behind why you chose this color scheme?
Well, I looked at a lot of PG charts, and my wife wanted purple, and I like purple, and I thought, well, I saw this one and I thought we'll go with that.
that is
We'll go with the silver too. The silver has the metal flake in it too, but it doesn't show up as much. But
You know what? Looking through these polarized glasses, it looks pink.
yeah,
I thought it was pink, and then you said
Yeah.
purple, and I go, oh, it
That's
is
true.
purple.
yeah.
Thought it was a Mary Kay car.
Yeah,
You take it out of the
Barbie.
light. You take it out of the light and it looks dark. You know, a lot darker.
Now, Bob, we were talking earlier. That roof is a van.
Van roof. Yeah. I don't know what year it was.
Yeah.
So how'd you do that?
Welded it in. Cut it and weld it.
weld it.
Yeah.
These
yeah.
guys are amazing when they do that. You know that?
There was a lot of fabrication on it.
Yeah.
You know, there's
So-
two terms. There's being jealous and envious, and I'm envious of these guys. It's something I wish I can do.
It's an art. It's an art what these guys can do. And,
Yeah, it is. You know, but you learn as you go.
Right.
You make mistakes and then get mad and start over again.
You got it.
You want to point out the mistakes on this?
No. No.
There's always mistakes that people don't see.
But I'll tell you right now, no car is perfect. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is.
That's true.
But it's pretty good for considering all the work I put into it, you know. And money.
You want
And money.
to ask
And
him
money.
your question?
Oh, what's that? How fast have you had it?
I haven't had it over 80.
That's it? Okay.
No.
Yeah.
I've never raced it.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a driver to me. It's got an R4 400 transmission in it, overdrive. So I just cruise.
Just have some fun with it.
Yeah.
How you sold your Nova? You said, is this something that you foresee yourself selling in the future? You think you're going to hold on to it for a while?
I'm getting to the point where I'm ready to let them go. Yeah.
And what will you replace it with?
Well, I've got two. So I'll keep one of them for a while, and then I'll probably end up letting go of the other one. I'm getting too old for this stuff.
He does. After a while,
You know?
Yeah.
So,
she doesn't understand it yet. She's still a young little puppy.
Trust me, there are
Yeah,
times
you're
where
a
I've
little
walked
puppy.
into the garage and my dad and I work on our cars. My mom just watches.
that's
And she'll
good.
go, what are you guys going out there to do? And we'll try to explain it to her. She most of the time doesn't understand. She tries. And we go, well, how long is it going to take? I'm making dinner in a couple hours. We'll be done in a few hours.
Never happened.
8 hours later, she walks out. Food was on the table a couple of hours ago. What are you idiots doing? We're still working on it.
Trying to get that bolt
what
to get
happens.
dropped.
Trying to get
Yeah.
And so, young or old, you end up spending just as much time sometimes.
Yeah, the time just goes. I mean, you don't think about the time, you know, because you're involved in what you're doing.
Yep.
You got it.
And it's good that I had a wife that put up with that kind of thing, you know. And she liked to go around in them too.
Here we are, we're standing in front of a 1953 Roadmaster Buick Custom.
Correct.
Owned by Frank Lane from Ellsworth, Ohio.
Right,
Frank,
Ellsworth.
this thing is a beast.
It is. It's a beast to drive too.
Yeah, jeez. It's got power steering, I hope.
Power steering, power brakes.
Uh-huh.
You want to hear about what's underneath it?
Yeah, let's look what's underneath that hood.
Got a 455 Buick,
Okay.
which had over 500 pounds of torque in 1970, 360 horsepower.
Pull some stumps out with that baby, huh?
It's got a Camaro front clip, disc brakes in the front. Has a Chrysler Posi rear end. They switched it from coils to leaf springs in the back for the Chrysler Posi rear end in it. And it's got neon lights underneath it. Has air suspension. Has light pipes that are not hooked up there just for looks.
They sure look good, though. This is old school style here, right?
Sure is.
So old school.
It's even got a CB in it. It was built 15 years ago. It's got 125 louvers in the hood.
Wow.
Now the movers are $7.50 a pop now.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
yikes.
it used to be back then. It used to be like $1.25 at one
Uh-huh.
time. Yeah.
That gives it a good look, you know
Yeah.
that. Plus, it's good for the engine, too. Yeah.
And the interior is really trick.
White,
It's got-
white, is that white? White?
Yeah, it's white, yeah. It's white and all.
Looks like a Chevy steering wheel.
Yeah. It's a reduction like a 60 Chevy
Mm-hmm.
steering wheel. And it has megaphone tailpipes on the glass spikes. It really crackles nice.
Uh-huh.
It's got a Carson top.
What's
and,
a Carson top?
It's supposed to be a removable top.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say it looks like it was removable. Couldn't you take it off?
No, you can't take that off, but they originally didn't have back windows in the Carson top either, okay? And it's got 7 inches out of the top.
Okay.
And I still got 3 inches over my head, and I'm surprised.
So you're You're a big guy too. You're a tall guy.
Yeah, pretty tall.
So they
enough.
didn't chop the car; they chopped the top.
Yeah, they
Okay.
chopped the top.
Okay,
They took
nothing
7
else.
inches out of the top and all.
Okay.
It's got the dummy spotlights on it. Has the HEI electronic ignition in it. And I put a Power Master starter on it to make it start fire. It starts. It really
Yeah, I
runs
put
good.
that on my Firebird. Boy, that really makes a big difference.
Boom!
It's a little bit more money, but it works.
That's only about $150.
I think mine cost me like $200. Oh yeah. What kind of rims you got there, Frank?
They're. I don't know anything about the rims, but they're all chrome.
Okay.
And the center comes out, it's all chrome.
Oh, okay.
It's got the Cougar wide wall tires on it.
A lot of times they'll put like Cadillac hubcaps on these too, you know.
And this car's been to James Dean a couple times. And I got it out of Massachusetts, and it was a rust-free car. I mean, it's nice underneath.
It's a beauty. And just don't damage the front or the rear end of this thing.
yeah,
Oh my
I
God,
know,
you got
I
tons of money. You probably got 20 grand worth of chrome on this thing. You know, just in the front and the back.
Damn right, it's spent.
Yeah.
And this paint,
Huh?
a gallon of that Coronet Red would probably cost you $2,000 for the paint now,
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to when, and the scallops on there. And, it's a strong one. I mean, I can light the tires up real easy with that Buick. Now that 455 Buick had more horsepower than any of the my GM big blocks. It had over 500 pounds of torque. In 1970, it had 370 horsepower.
Can you burn the tires?
Oh yeah.
Can you?
Yeah. That tires cost too much to do it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I understand that. When you're young, you don't care. Now you get older, you go, oh my God.
It costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it sure does. How about how fast have you had her?
Oh, I've had it up to about 80.
Okay, nothing. That's nothing for this.
The speedometer's about 10 mile an hour fast. I just have to live with that.
okay.
and change
Yeah,
it.
you get different
It's also
gearing in
got
it.
a turbo 400 in it,
Okay.
but it's non-overdrive training and all. And it's got a shroud somebody put on it, and also those louvers really keep the temperature down on
Sure.
the big block motor. They really help.
Yeah, sure it
But,
does.
It's a nice car. It's kind of unusual.
It's a looker.
It is.
You get a lot of thumbs up going down the road?
Oh yeah, I like the color.
And
You probably had more attention than I ever had.
And you got hydraulics in this thing too, right?
Yeah.
Up and down. How high is it going? Is this the lowest it'll go?
No, it'll go down a little further, but I hate to let it down too much in case the compressor won't work. I won't be able to drive it home.
Oh,
Take it down too much.
Never thought of that one. Huh? Or you'll damage the pipes on it, the
It's
exhaust
kinda
pipes.
But it just shows you what the sun will do to paint. I mean,
Yeah.
this was painted 15 years ago. It's been out in the sun, it'd have been shot by now. you know.
Sure. Sun's the worst thing for interior, exterior. Hey, Frank, thanks for showing us your car. What a beauty. What a
Thank you very
beauty.
much.
Okay? Well, Krista, we did it again.
We did. Well, they did. The community
did,
did. Because
uh-huh.
I'll tell you what, we had well over 300 cars, probably 350, maybe
Yeah, at
more.
least, yeah.
And everybody that comes here is always just in the greatest of spirits. They're so excited to be here. And, you know, the benefit that goes out, that's awesome. So it was just a great day. A little hot, but, you know, hey, as long as it's not raining.
The humidity was down. It was around
Yeah.
80. It's around 80 degrees. And it's a perfect day.
Yeah.
When you're around car people, everybody's happy.
They
you know?
are.
It's really a happy sign. They just talk to you, and it's just like nothing. Like they've known you forever, you know, which is really good.
Yeah.
And don't forget, all the money we collected today goes to the Veteran Outreach, and which is a darn good, what do we call it?
Benefit.
Benefit, yeah. I was trying to think of another word, but it wouldn't come
Benefit
up.
program, yeah.
When you get older, you'll see. You lose words.
Oh, I'm like that. I'm like that now. I suffer from what I call CRS. Anybody that has that knows what it is.
No.
Can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Can't remember poop. Put them out there, okay?
You say that to some people and they go, oh.
Yes.
No, I'm just making a joke. But no, honestly, I love coming back here. I'm so glad that you guys asked me to come back. This is my 12th year doing this.
Sure.
It's a blast, and every year it gets better and better.
Sure,
And I'll tell you what, a lot of people that came this year said, we missed it last year. We were so upset that we missed it. We're so glad to be here, and it seems even bigger than ever.
We're packed
I said,
in
yeah,
here.
it's
We're
great.
packed in here today.
Yeah,
You know that?
what a great show.
What a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll tell you.
And we hope you, the fans, and everyone out there that's watching it really enjoys it. And some of the cars that we really got to see some unique ones today.
Yes.
I did a little mix of new. I definitely saw some new breeds
Did you
mixed
get
in
that
here today.
Did you get that Mercedes?
I did.
Oh, that's the one I wanted.
One
Oh,
of
that
150.
that
It's one of
GTR.
150
Oh, my.
in the
Yeah.
country, but it's probably a one of one build.
Wow.
So
I saw that
pretty
come
neat.
in and I go, oh,
Yeah.
my eyes just went wing. I go, wow.
There was some great stuff, and I mean, yeah.
Probably
so
a couple $100,000 car there, huh?
yes.
Yeah, you say that mildly, maybe more than that.
It's up there.
Okay. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
But the owner is, as most are that I've come to find, extremely humble. And that's, like I said, that's what makes us love this car culture, is how humble everybody is and how excited they are to share their passion with you. Like I said, every now and then you get a stickler, but most of the time people are just, when they share the same passion as we do, it just, we all get along. It's wonderful.
We love it. I'm so happy when I come out to these shows. And
Yeah.
Even the car shows that I'm not hosting or anything, I go and people are always talking to me. It's just great. It's just I just love it. I hate the winter because I never see anybody.
That's true.
So
Come down to Florida.
yes,
We have lots of car shows
I
there.
want to come down and see Cars on the 5th.
Cars on 5th, yeah.
That's which is Chris is into big with that. All the Ferraris and everything. It's on 5th Avenue in Naples.
First weekend in February, yeah. One of the biggest car shows in the country. It's
You got
fantastic.
it, yeah. Krista, thank you for helping us tonight.
Absolutely.
And co-hosting today, not tonight,
Absolutely.
today. And what do you think?
We'll see you down the road.